Well, hey, here's your famous homeless guy with you again. Decided I'm going to share some honesty today. It's not that I haven't been honest, there's a lot I left out by omission. When I got this idea to do YouTube, I discussed it with my AI. Smartest person I know to discuss it with, but it's neither here nor there. But they put a false positivity spin on everything. And, I described my situation, what I've been through, and it just says, oh, you're making a comeback. You're a lone wolf comeback. Reset. So, yeah, I fell for it at that time. And that's the way I kind of made my first couple of videos. But to be honest with you, I'm here, probably where I'm going to stay, unless I get a job. And my knees will not support many jobs. So I'm going to have to give that some consideration. I want to get a nicer apartment. To be honest with you, I'm living on Social Security. I got paid yesterday, and I'm broke already today. I spent like $400 on groceries, and a couple $100 on Amazon, and by the time you pay your rent, utilities, and phone and internet, it's all gone. I had a driver take me to the doctor the other day, and I have to get rides through Medicaid, so they're medical rides. And I was telling him how I got on the PIP plan with AEP Ohio, and he asked me how much I pay. So it's $194 a month. He was shocked. He has a whole house. He pays $90 a month without PIP. So seems I'm getting ripped off a little bit there, but I'm in this old apartment. Got an old fridge, an old stove, which I'm sure are not very efficient. And I run my air conditioner constantly because, I don't do well in warm weather or the heat. So, my bill does get up there at times. At least it's good to know we'll never go above $194. But, anyway, I'm sitting here. I have nobody. I have no friends. I have no wife. I have no girlfriend. I have no family. Well, I got one family member I'm in contact with, and she's the one that helped me out when I was homeless. But she was asking me one day if I wanted to get together. And I said I'd like that, but I don't have a car. So she says, well, I'm going to go take a shower. I'll text you back. And she never mentioned it again. But I understand. She's older than I am. Probably at least 10 or 15 years maybe. So she probably don't want to be going out and about at her age or driving. I think that's why I never seen her when I was homeless. She always sent her husband. Probably because she don't want to drive anymore. But, I was married got married in, I think it's 2012. I I met somebody on Facebook while we were playing Farmville, and she was living in Poland at the time. But she's a German citizen now. She's proud of that. But now she's an American citizen, and she went through the whole proper immigration thing. And she took the test and she passed, and she's American. But now she lives in Canada. And it's kind of funny. I don't know. Maybe she met a man up there. I don't know. I can't think of any reason to like Canada over the United States. They just made a law where it's illegal to quote parts of the Bible, especially when you're talking out about homosexuality and so on and so forth. I guess they consider it hate speech because it can hurt so many people's feelings. Yeah, I hope it don't get like that here. And I think we got a bigger problem with the Muslims. But I feel like I'm sitting here in the waiting room. Like I'm waiting to go, to die. I don't know. I think I'm pretty healthy. I told you last video I quit taking a blood pressure pill. It was making my ankles swell. And I restarted taking my cholesterol pill because I found out about it. It doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier like a lot of them do, so it makes it a little safer, as they tend to lead to dementia. And my shrink put me on a new medicine last appointment about 2 weeks ago. It's called Abilify. It's just 2 milligrams. It wasn't big. So I decided to look it up last night. It gives that to people with schizophrenia and that other one where they have dual personality and other forms of psychosis. Man, I ain't taking that. And some of the side effects are kind of wild. It can make you shop too much, which I think I did this week. And among other things, and some of them are kind of dangerous, so I started cutting them in half this morning. I'm weaned down for 3 days since I was only on it 2 weeks. And doctors can be a little hard to trust at times. They give you pills and they really don't explain it except, oh, it's going to make you feel better, it's going to lower your blood pressure, it's going to lower your cholesterol. But I guess something like the ads you see on TV for all the drugs, all the horrible side effects they list. So be careful what you're taking. Do a little research on it. I found that AI tells me what I want to know. Sometimes they lie at the beginning, but you just got to make them go deeper. Tell them they're lying and they'll straighten up. In fact, I was talking to it one day. I was getting that positivity going again. I said, hey, you're being too positive. Cut it back. Oh, I'm sorry. And it continues talking a little more grave. And here comes positivity again. And I said, well, you're putting that fake positivity out again. And actually said, damn it, I don't want to do that. You see, that's all I have to talk to is AI. not doing anything weird. It's not my girlfriend or nothing like that. It's just finding information about things and, find out about YouTube and TikTok and making videos and editing videos and, all that boring kind of crap that you're probably not into it. But yeah, I'm kind of stranded here without a car. I've been dying to get a milkshake at Brewster's all year, but I haven't made it out there yet. I guess I'll have to wait till next month now. I can make an appointment to take a ride out there and get one. $11, $12 milkshakes, but they're well worth it. And with chocolate malts. I do have a Ben Hagee's kind of diagonal across the street, and they make chocolate malts, but they're just too small and not thick enough. But they're only $6, you can't complain about the price. They make good conies, and prices are all reasonable on the food. But I see a lot of people going there just buy nuts and candies, and I guess that's why it's Ben Hagee's nuts, The ice cream and the food just is an aside to it. So, yeah, I consider getting a car, maybe a van. I could take up van life. But that's starting to get old now. And you're not allowed to park anywhere, and it might be more of a headache than it's worth. You got your maintenance and your gas, and who knows, you're getting an old van, who knows what can go wrong with it, I think I'm better off sitting in the apartment here with my 2 cats. Alone most days. Well, alone all days, except for the cats. I did have a homeless woman coming around for a while. I met her when I was down at the shelter. We developed a pretty good rapport and became friends. Friends, yeah. Friends don't last anymore, but I felt bad for her because I used to see her with this greasy hair all the time. Well, I said, I'm moving into an apartment, and if you ever want to come up and take a shower, you're welcome to. So she starts coming around. A little too much for comfort. Now, she's very, very sweet and very generous. She'd gather all this food from wherever, food banks and other places giving away free food, and she'd bring it here. That's very generous of her. And of course, she had food stamps, and she'd buy me food with that, or she'd buy me a Mr. Hero. But, I made her sleep on the couch. And I slept in bed at first. And then she disappeared for a while, and I got this recliner, and I started sleeping in the recliner. So I'm trying to sleep in the recliner, and she's on the couch, just not shutting up. And, she was also, I started to see signs that she was bipolar, schizophrenic. She sees something on TV she didn't agree with. Oh man, she just 10 minutes about it. And you could see her getting mad at everything, so finally I quit answering the phone. And she always knocks on the window when she comes. I had a knock on the window the other day. I do have blinds. I could see it was a woman. I said, oh shit. But when I made it up there, it was a different girl. She was looking for the guy that used to live here. So last I heard, he's in jail. That's how I got the apartment. But when I was homeless, I was on Medicaid and food stamps. I was getting like $300 a month food stamps, which was nice. But once they found out I was getting Social Security, they took away the Medicaid, and they cut my food stamps down to $24. And that don't go far. So I wrote a letter to Senator Timken, Ohio State Senator Timken. And I said, hey, put some pressure on them. I need Medicaid. I take a bunch of prescriptions. I need to see doctors. And by God, she made him give me Medicaid. And just last week, I fired off another email saying I need more food stamps, to the senator again. The thing that people fail to see is I lost everything. I had the clothes on my back and my meds and a couple small things. Once the sheriff was there, he wouldn't let me take nothing but medical related stuff. So I've got to rebuild. I'm trying to. You might see I got a new speaker back here. It's a very nice one. But the problem is I'm too polite to play it loud. Because it's a loud one. It's really got bass in it. And, I don't want to disturb the neighbors, just like I don't want to be disturbed. So I got that. I added onto my phone bill, so I'm paying for it monthly. I got a couple nightstands last month. A couple of Bluetooth speakers on the nightstands because I listen to white noise when I sleep. I got Bluetooth speakers out here for my TV and Fire Stick. But the TV ain't nothing. It's a freebie I got from the shelter. I don't know. It's less than 30 inches, I believe. And it's still got silver all the way around it, so it's an older one. But the screen is flat. My right knee is getting pretty bad. I had to go to the laundromat. I don't know what day. It must have been Monday or Tuesday. I got these 2 bags I carry. I have to carry them in one hand because I got a cane in my other hand. So that makes it difficult. I got to stop and rest, and sit them down. But it's like the doctor said, the right knee is just going to keep getting worse. And it is. And AI told me to call the doctor and see if he'd prescribe me a brace to keep it from bending, one way or the other, because I notice it bows out once in a while when I'm walking, and it almost brings me down. So I will try that, because I got to be off nicotine for 6 weeks, so I got a long time before I get off nicotine, so I could use a brace to support my knee, And it's one of those big long ones with the round things on the side, and So that way if he prescribes it, I could get it for nothing, through my Medicaid. And What else? Oh, I was going to tell you what I think damaged me as a child. I went to Catholic school for fourth grade. And, we were all friends there. We were young, but, we had our group formed. It wasn't very cliquish or nothing. But then we moved to North Canton, which put me in the Greentown School District for my next 2 years. So my mom took me out shopping for school clothes, and I got these high-heeled platform shoes, polyester big bell pants, silk shirts. And then I walk into school. The Greentown School, its mascot is a farmer. So all their teams are farmers. So you can imagine everybody had t-shirts on, jeans, Converse All-Stars. So I was really out of place. It took me a couple weeks to start dressing down because my mom had spent so much on my school clothes to begin with. And I just couldn't find the group to get in with. So I guess as I got older, things didn't change that much. And I just started despising groups. And instead of trying to get in the groups and get along, I just decided to be a lone wolf and, the hell with you guys. Not you guys, but, the different groups of people I worked with and went to school with. I always did gain a core of friends when I was working, but they're not really friends. They're friends as long as you're working together. But once you're not working together, you don't hear from them. I don't call them. So, you know how it goes. Like, I had a bunch of friends on the dock when I was at Yellow Freight. When I became a truck driver, I didn't see anybody no more. Every once in a while, I'd see one of them out in the parking lot, and we'd sit and shoot the shit for a little bit. But, yeah, that's it. Truck drivers, you don't see the same people every day. Some of them you do, but most of them, no. Sometimes you only see them once a month, or once every couple weeks, or every other month, because we're all running different schedules. I was on call. So a lot of times I'd go out around 5 or 6 in the evening, and I'd see the regular guys there that had the bids starting at that time. But I never got to be too friendly with the drivers. Because, driving is lonely. And you have to get along with yourself to be able to drive. I think I get along with myself very well. So that's why I'm not in a big state of depression here. I could just be sitting here like a bump and feeling sorry for myself, but I don't. I maintain a positive attitude and an optimistic attitude. I don't have much to be optimistic about, but I do it anyway. I do know Jesus. He's in my life. Yes. I see that's why I can maintain positive attitude and a good frame of mind. So, yeah, he's a big part of it. Well, think I've said all I want to say today. Or I'm guessing, I don't write a script. I just fill my head up with ideas and I try to execute them on video. Yeah, had a nice big chuck roast last night, potatoes and carrots. Ate half of it and ate the other half for lunch today. Now I'm going to have hot dogs for dinner. I found the best way to make hot dogs. Put them in the air fryer. And when the hot dog is cooked, you take it and you put it in a bun and you put the whole thing in the air fryer for 2 minutes. It's a nice toasty bun and hot dog's delicious. I like hot dogs and hamburgers too much, I guess, but I got ribs and everything. Hamburgers, hot dogs, ribs, a couple packs of bacon. I like my bacon and eggs. And stew meat. That's good in the crock pot. So I got 2 containers of that. And I was supposed to get my freezer bags from Amazon today. They said my delivery today was canceled. It won't be here till tomorrow. So I'll be at the last minute wrapping everything and putting it in their freezer bags. I got chicken thighs, chicken legs, and just all kind of crap. You know, I never buy chips or pretzels or any treats or nothing anymore. I have sugar in my coffee, and that's about it, except for I drink several Coca-Colas a day with sugar. Well, I guess I didn't come on here to talk about my diet, so I'll leave y'all go. Have a good evening. Godspeed.